Good morning. Our hand today is going to be pocket eights. This is a 20-cent no limit hold'em game. It's a 20 NL, 8 max table. I'm under the gun with pocket eights. Open raise. I think that is fine. It's in my open raising range for EP1 under the gun. Even though we're short-handed, we have seven players instead of 8. I still think this is a suitable range. We've got 2 callers after me, and then it folds around. I've got 19 hands on these players. That's it. This is a site I don't play at too often, so I don't have a large database on these players. So all I can do is just go off of just standard how people tend to play. Right now, though, this player is looking to be a little bit loose. This player is a little bit tighter, but still somewhat loose. This guy's going to be a passive one. It looks like 32.5. This guy's going to be somewhat on a loose aggressive side of things. So I have 3-bet range, 8-7, 3-bet 20%. So I am under the gun. I've been playing tight. That may affect his range. So if this is my opening range, what is this guy's range? I started here. Assumed he would raise like 3-bet, something like that. It looks like he's actually going to be going a little wider here. So I think we're going to give him the gappers. I think if he's raising those suited, he's also raising the pairs. He's probably also raising ace queen. He might be calling those. Maybe Jack 10 off. Just out of curiosity, let's see if we have anything for like call 2-bet. 100%. That's not useful. Maybe say 3-bet those ranges. All right, so I guess that's going to be a starting place for that player. Next player, 32.5. Called 2-bets from blinds, ranged ace 10 off. Okay, he's in cutoff. This is the first time he's playing in the cutoff. It doesn't look like he's calling as much, so I think he is going to be more of like these pocket pair, speculative oriented, hoping to hit maybe. So I'm going to keep with this range and proceed. We see a flop of 9-7-3. Doesn't really hit us a whole lot, but we do have backdoor straight draw. So we've got the 8. We're up against 2 players. We're out of position. I do think that we've got a plan where we could c-bet here and then plan to fire the turn if we improve with our straight or catch an 8. So if we catch a 6, a 5, a 6, a 10, or a jack, I think we could continue, or an 8 maybe. I'm sorry, an ace or a king. I think we could fire the barrel because I think both of those would hit our open raising range. We could check. I guess if we check, it makes this a little bit harder to continue. It would be if we check those 5, 6, 10 jack cards. I don't think we could bet with those anymore. I think it would be less believable. I don't think we'd have much fold equity if we do bet. But if the turn brings ace or king, then I think we could lead, and it's going to be more believable that we checked with ace king and checked into 2 players on a board like this. So if we look at what we could bet, what we shouldn't, I guess we can bet our sets. I think we could bet our over pairs. I think probably our top pair. I'm going to say this pocket pair less than the top card because we have backdoor straight draw and maybe the 6s. And I'm going to say the 6s at this point, even the 8s. We're not really doing it for value. We're doing it for like bluff potential. So we've got our gut shot there. We got some straight potential, and then when we look at 2-card backdoor flush draws, I think that could be part of our bet because we could fire a second barrel. And that gives us 72.8% c-bet range. Personally, I think this could still be a little bit too high going into three opponents. I think we had a stronger range, but this board probably is. I mean, it's going to hit all of us, I believe. I think it can hit all of us with equal frequency. So I don't think there's going to be a huge edge at this time. Let's see here. I mean, not overwhelming. 43%, 30%, 28%, 29, 27, 40. I think the benefit for us is that we have all of the overpairs, so the ace, king, queens. These players don't. So let's see what I do. I checked. Okay, so this is I feel like this could be a mixed strategy here. 72% is too high, but it's kind of a question of what other hands do we bet? What hands do we check? So I'm going to say we could be checking all of those. We could be checking, of course, there are no made hands, but not all of them. Let's see here. Top pair. Kind of think the combos are going to be bets. 10, 9, 9, 8. I think that's going to be a betting range, but ace 9 could be a check. I think 10s and jacks. Well, if we have 10s and jacks, it makes it less likely the other opponents do. But we're doing some value. We're doing some protection. We're kind of protecting against that king, queen, king, jack hands that could catch a king on the turn and beat us. So I kind of think queens plus could be a check here, like a check call. And that changes it then. It changes the breakdown. So you're looking at now 16, 32. So about 50%. That's probably better. That's probably better. So let's X these out as our checking range. Oops. Let me get those back. There we go. Oops. Top pair. Those are X'd. And then we are going to X gut shot. 2-card backdoors. And that looks good. All right, so we're going to say that's our checking range. And we are going to check call with all of those. So villain bets 10. He bets pot. And I just kind of feel like that is being aggressive here. Since I gave up, he's trying to take the lead. So we've got, I'm going to say top pair plus. Maybe the middle pair. Maybe he's being, let's see here. Let's see his overall flop aggression. Oh, yeah. He's definitely aggressive. I think he could do that with open ender, gut shot, probably 2-card backdoor flush draws. Since I gave up, he's just betting. We're going to say any pair. Let's just do that. Keep it tight. He could have those 2-card backdoor flush draws. Next guy folds. No big surprise. He's got a lot of the time he misses. So top pair plus with the straight and the gut shot is 21%. All right, so I do think we should be calling. I think we're definitely check calling all of those. The ones we're not will be these no-made hands. I'm not even sure if I could call the overcards. I think if we call the overcards, we're looking at Queen Jack. It's like a 2-card gut shot. Maybe Queen 10. We don't have Jack 10 because that's a gut shot. No, I don't think so. I think that's it. I don't think we're calling pairs. And some of these could improve to backdoor straight draws. I think the 2-card backdoor flush draws could have been bets. So we're gonna go with that as our call. Jack of hearts comes out, so that actually works. If we were c-betting, we would fire a turn. And if we get raised, we can just, we're drawing to a gut shot. I think villain raises, it's suggesting like a combo draw pair plus like gut shot, which we have a pair, but I think our pair would be behind villain 1's hand. So we check. I think we are checking 100% here. Villain checks behind, and that's kind of interesting because I don't think a straight's going to be checking. I don't think set's going to be checking, or a 2-pair. I think with this guy, top pair is going to be continuing. Middle pair is probably going to check. Weak pair is going to probably check. If he was betting all of those as flush draw and open ender, an aggressive player is probably betting those. Probably betting his gut shots. He's probably betting all of those draws. So he doesn't have the flush draw, doesn't have the open ender. Jack 8, 10 7. 10 7s could be in there. Jack 8, Jack 10 are not. And then these bottom gut shots. I'm going to leave those in. So I feel like he's going to be weak, but we lose to the 9. Currently, we lose to the 9. So river comes up with a 6. We were hoping for a 10. But now, what do? We kind of check called. Could mean we have a 10 jack. Could mean we have a 9-10. Overpair. We could have ace king queen. So once it goes check check, I think we're betting our sets. We're going to be betting our overpair. And then I think we're going to be betting these other ones as a bluff. 25%, 75%. I think that's going to be our breakdown. So this falls, we're going to turn our hand into a bluff. We're hoping 9x folds is kind of what we're hoping for. We bet 21, so we bet like 2/3 pot. Villain calls. What is he calling with? It kind of comes down to this middle pair and the weak pair. What does he do? I do expect him to call those hands, so that's 15% of his hands. If that's the only ones that he's calling, he's folding 85% of the time. He's over folding, so we should be just attacking. So I like the bet. If he calls with the overpair, that's okay. He's still, that only brings up his calls to 30%. He's still folding 70% of the time. And then if he calls with the weak pairs, hey, that's fine too, because we beat all of those hands. So the question is just how loose is he going? I'm going to say he's going to probably call with a 9, maybe not the weak pair. So something like this. So once he calls, I think I'm beat here. But again, that's okay. We're going for a fold equity. Well, maybe that's not okay. Because if he only calls with middle pair plus, then there's really no value bet here. And if our weakest hand is an 8, 8 or ace 9, the only reason we turn those into a bluff is if we think middle pair can fold. We beat all of these hands. We also have the added benefit, the added bonus is by betting ourselves, we kind of control what the bet is. If he raises, we could easily fold. But what I don't want to do is check and have him bet the pot 31 or have him bet over pot because the draw is missed. I can't call that. So I'm going to assume that since he called, we're lost. I showed 8s, he shows 6, 7, and he has 2 pair. So he did have that bottom pair. He bet that, raised that. I think that's a little unfortunate. That's part of the 8. Again, if we think he's going to call if he thinks he can fold the middle pair, I like the bet. We're giving ourselves a chance to win, basically buying that 15%. But if he's going to call with that anytime we bet, then this is probably a bad bet. Yeah, we're getting him to fold all of these weak pairs, but we don't need to. We beat all of them to begin with. Now, if we think he's going to bluff with them, that's another story. Now, if we think he's going to be betting that, and then, so that's 30%, and then like another 30% are all these weak pairs, I think we're going to have to call because 50% of his bets are going to be bluffs, and we beat him. So we lost. Good hand. I didn't have 6-7 offsuit in his range, in his preflop range, so I had the suited version. And that's interesting because we know that he now calls. So we're going to take a note. I don't know if this is going to be useful because I don't play at the site too often, but he called 3 big blind, called UTG RFI 3 big blinds in MP with 7 of clubs, 6 of diamonds, and then I think we have here, he bet pot. He is middle, so he bet pot, bet 100%, check, call 66%. And the last 2 cards, Jack of hearts, 6 of clubs. All right, so I think it was just unfortunate for the run out. Hopefully you enjoyed this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another one.